30 seconds remaining, and you should wrap up your comments. Before you begin your comments, please state your name. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to your Fort Worth City Council meeting. I'll call us to order.
Tonight's invocation will be by Dr. Cedric Belcher from the Grace Temple Seventh-day Adventist Church. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. God of grace, God of mercy, thanks for your benevolent blessings, which have allowed us to gather for another city council meeting. Bless the agenda. May it speak to the issues impacting our community. Grant our mayor and council members the insight and foresight to make decisions that will make this community a better place. May they see as you see through the lens of righteousness, justice, and service to this community. This is my prayer. This is my plea. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Council, the first action item is the consideration of the minutes from the May 24th, 2022 joint city council meeting and the October 11th, 18th, and 25th council meetings.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Please vote. I don't think we have. Do we have vote buttons? May have to do manually. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
That concludes the business, Mayor. Now we have just the speakers.
Thank you. Our first speaker will be Barbara Nettis, followed by Bob Willoughby.
Hello, everyone. My name is Barbara Nice. I represent the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Disaster Assistance. So basically, I'm here due to the disaster that happened on August 22nd through the 25th. It was the flooding and severe storms. It was declared an agency declaration, and we're the government agency offering low-interest government loans for businesses of all sizes, homeowners, renters, nonprofit organizations, including places of worship. For home loans, we offer up to $200,000 to repair or replace physical damage to your home, and up to $40,000 for personal property, anything that's inside, and your primary car. And this is where the renters come in. They can get to $40,000 personal property and the primary, but it has to be your primary residence. For businesses, we offer up to $2 million to repair or replace the physical damage, inventory, supplies, equipment, anything that was affected. And also economic injury disaster loan if you were closed during the timeline of August 22nd through the 25th. It's a working capital and to regain your business back. And this goes for the nonprofits, the same thing, up to $2 million for physical damage, and also the economic injury disaster loans. For home loans, it's as low as 2.18%. For businesses, as low as 3.04%. And then for nonprofits, as low as 1.87. It's basically to help everybody recover for the uninsured and the uninsured losses. They're up to 30 years. We cover deductibles, no closing costs, and we can, and basically we also have mitigation to prevent for future damage. So people can apply on disasterloanassistance.sba.gov. They have also a 1-800 number if they want to do reconsiderations, ask for status. Any other questions that they have, and also get paper applications if they do have issues applying online. So that's 1-800-659-2955. And I just want to also mention that the deadline is November 14th for physical damage loans, and then the economic injury is June 14th of next year. And it's basically Dallas County and the surrounding counties. That's why it's including Tarrant. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it. Yeah, what? Oh, yeah, that's fine, yeah. Make sure, Barbara, there's a gentleman here from Councilmember Beck's office, Anthony, you don't raise your hand, just make sure y'all connect, because we have one neighborhood in District 9 that was pretty badly affected. Thanks, Michael. Our next speaker is Bob Willoughby, followed by Mona Kissentainer. Apologize, Mona, if I butchered that.
Looks like I get to speak tonight. Anyway. I had a video lined up for the night to play, and it's the same video I had here 2 weeks ago to play. And I sent it in on Monday or Friday or whatever I got it in, and I never got any word from the city council or the lawyer, the attorney, no one saying that the video wouldn't play 2 weeks ago. And that reasoning was they weren't planning on letting me speak 2 weeks ago. 3 of them were gone, and Elizabeth Beck, the fourth one, got up and walked out before it was my turn to speak at the end. Of course, they put me to the end too. This is all a planned thing. When your city council members plot to do something like that are to send up flags, that's really wrong. The plot to stop someone from speaking. It's really embarrassing, it's immaturity, and we don't need it in Fort Worth. Now, what I want to get at here are the emails from our Shannon, or from our code compliance, and I made a mistake here, I put one on twice. The first email from Shannon, the code compliance didn't say bully, and the first one was, I asked for a meeting. I asked some questions on email, and she wouldn't answer them, and I asked for a meeting. She sent me one back saying that she was afraid to have a meeting with me from a city employee, okay? I told her we could have it downtown and she'd be safe and there's no one there. The second one she sent me was saying she would not be bullied into having an unproductive meeting. So this is from an employee, okay? And the reasoning is they're not answering the question that I asked. So now we take it further. I get one from the attorney here saying that she received my voicemail about the same case. Now, I can't put it all on there, and I'll share all this. If you join my email list, you'll get everything. I just can't put it out here. Answering all kind of things about this case that I'm working on, I've been working on. And the first question I sent back to her, and I have not got a response yet from Leanne, I sent one back. I want to know, why are you doing the code compliant director Brandon Bennett's job? If he can't answer these questions, why is he director? He's well overpaid. Bennett does not have to answer any questions. The attorneys do it for him. I think he should do it. But anyway, if she wants to do it, and she's going to do it, then you need to answer the question I'm putting forth to you. And here's the question. Why was it a violation, a much violation, to get a court order and cut a man's padlock and go on his property and have a bid over $3,600 to take the stuff off of his property that was valuable? Why did you get that? And when we show up a camera, they run off. It's been over 2 years, and it's not a violation no more because we showed up with a camera. I want you to answer that question, Leanne. When we had a camera, it's not a violation. When we don't have a camera, it's a violation. Can you explain that one? I don't think you will. Join our email list. You can see it, you can go back and get that, okay?
Bob, our next speaker is Mona Kissentainer, followed by George Childs. Is Mona here? Next speaker is George Childs, followed by Jim DeLong.
My name is George Vernon Childs. My residence is in Fort Worth. The veracity of what follows can be evaluated by observation of the video of the public comments of October 18th, 2022. As the video begins, a council member for District 9 is conversing with the city attorney at the latter's usual location during meetings, leaning over to do so. At 11 seconds, she stands up, but the conversation continues until she faces away at 17 seconds. By 25 seconds, she is by her usual chair. At 2 minutes, 6 seconds, the Mayor Pro Tem begins to give the guidelines for speaking. During this, the city attorney leaves the chair she normally occupies at 2 minutes 19 seconds. At 2 minutes 27 seconds, the mayor pro tem states, and with that, we welcome the first speaker. At 2 minutes 32 seconds, the camera angle changes. The city attorney is watching a monitor normally used by the city secretary's office. This continues until 2 minutes 28 seconds when she leans over to talk to the acting city secretary. At 30 minutes 57 seconds, Adrian Smith finished speaking and the camera angle changes to city council. The council member for District 9 appears to be utilizing her thumbs for phone operation. This continues as the acting city secretary says the next speaker is Will Dryden at 30 minutes 58 seconds to 31 minutes. At 31 minutes 7 seconds, said council member ceases this, places the phone to her left, then places it in the direction where her two bags, unseen at this point, later proved to be. At 31 minutes 19 seconds, the camera angle changes to Mr. Dryden. At 34 minutes 11 seconds, the bell rings. Mr. Dryden continues to speak. At 34 minutes 16 seconds, the camera angle changes to city council. At 34 minutes 17 seconds, the acting city secretary begins to say, "Your time has expired, sir." At that point, the council member for District 9 has risen from the chair she has been occupying, and at 34 minutes 18 seconds, the action recorded by the document provided takes place. Said document will show that no member of city council or staff appears to see this. At 34 minutes 29 seconds, the acting city secretary begins to say, "Our final speaker this evening is Bob Willoughby," concluding at 34 minutes 31 seconds. Council member for District 9 is off camera. At 34 minutes 33 seconds, the city attorney, back in her customary position, looks to her right, then to her left, concluding at 34 minutes 36 seconds. At 34 minutes 37 seconds, she leans toward the mayor pro tem. At 34 minutes 38 seconds, the latter states, "It appears we have a lost quorum."
Our next speaker is Jim DeLong, followed by Tara Rice.
Good evening, I'm Jim DeLong, District 7, and I want to speak tonight on the expert panel review. And I'm quoting from page 4 of that document. The subheading is "Excessive Use of No-Knock Warrants and Unnecessary SWAT Deployments." And I'm quoting, "The panel's review of the justification calls into question whether the no-knock was legally justified. It appeared that no-knock warrants were routinely used as de facto training exercises for the SWAT team, when safer alternatives were clearly available and should have been considered or applied. So the review is, this review board, expert review panel, is saying and accusing our police department of this excessive use of no-knock warrants. Let me share the rest of the story and what preceded this quote. They quoted on page 4, 2018, there were 154 occurrences of the excessive use of the no-knock warrants. 2019, there were 90. So we've come down 64. And the police department made changes. Now, this is in the report. Get this. 2021, there were 0. And then the review panel goes back prior to 2018 and says, man, they used excessive force on this no-knock policy, and they were implying that our police department was using excessive force, where in fact, the police department did their due diligence, they saw this, they corrected it to the extent that in 2021, there were 0 occurrences. I would say that's great work by the police department, finding out there were some things that needed to get adjusted and fixed, and they brought it down to 0. And I have one more comment to make, and I'm not doing this tongue-in-cheek. I'm doing it very seriously. What I witnessed in the work session today, Mayor, I would encourage you to schedule de-escalation training for everyone on the dais. I'm serious. What I saw today and heard today,
Pamela Young. Is Tara here?
Ms. Rice?
Oh, sorry.
Ms. Rice?
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Tara Rice. I am the mother of Jalen Rice, who is right now being held hostage at the Tarrant County Jail in Green Bay, which he's waiting trial on December 1st. Well, actually December 8th. He also, mind you, he has a court date coming up November 11th. And somehow I noticed that it was scheduled for a Friday, and they don't. No one in Tarrant County works on a Friday, especially the upper officials. They don't work on Fridays. Also, furthermore, on September 30th, I called. I came to my home, and I called out the Fort Worth the city of Fort Worth. Fire department made a 911 call because there was carbon dioxide released into my home. I called the city of Fort Worth, and somehow, and also because my home was broken into, and I can tell that the furnace was tampered with because it was showing it wasn't how I left it, and my home was vandalized by Deja Singleton and Hannah Martinez. Also, the city of Fort Worth Fire Department came out to my home, and they called Tri-County Electric. Tri-County Electric then sent someone out to my home by the name Joshua, who was an employee for Tri-County Electric. And he was the police eventually arrived about 2 hours later. After the fact, I had power fine until the officer that showed up to take my report. I will mention his name at a later time. But he showed up, and he did not even take my report because I was scheduled to do a interview with Fort Worth Weekly. Mind you, what he did was he told Joshua, the Tri-County employee, to turn off my power. I then go around, and I noticed that my meter was tampered with. Why is Joshua listed on that report as a victim? And no report was ever filed from the vandalism, someone breaking in my home, taking a whole bunch of items out of there. The officer walked away and directed Tri-County Electric to turn off my power, then bill me for $3,000. And for whatever unknown reason. So therefore, I would like an investigation opened up in reference to that, in reference to and know why there wasn't even a police report filed when the officer walked away when I told him I'm getting ready to do a Zoom meeting with Fort Worth Weekly, and he walked away. He didn't even care. He had an attitude when he came to my home. Mind you, these two individuals I asked several times not to come back to my home.
Thank you, Tara.
You know, and they broke
Our
into my
next
home while
speaker
I was
is
not
Pamela
there.
Young.
Hello, my name is Pamela Young. I live in District 9. I'm not going to be before y'all real long. I was in the work session and heard the discussion on police oversight. And I just want us to all kind of come back to the center on this. Why did who asked for police oversight? Think about that for a second. Who asked for it? Was it the police? Was it this council? Or was it the community? Then we know the answer is the community. Who in the community asked for it? People who have been directly impacted by police abuses. Not people in District 7 maybe who you spoke with who think police are doing a fine and dandy job. but the countless people who are represented in the police report that Mr. DeLong talked about from the police experts. They are many. I'm one of them. And these abuses continue today. Those are the people that you need to have in mind when you're voting on creating this board, implementing this board, approving this ordinance. Not any political situations, parties, whatever, or friends, but people who have been directly impacted by police abuses in this city and who continue to be to this day. Those are the voices, the only voices, that you all need to be considering when you make that vote. Because putting that board in place, it doesn't hurt anybody. It only helps the community who asked for it and the police department who says they want to be better, who continues to get patted on the back. So again, we can put our money where our mouth is and say, okay, we want to give you all the resources to be better, to be great. And we want to support the people in this community who have been historically abused, disadvantaged, profiled, and all manner of evil by rogue police in this city. And not just this city, we know it's all over this nation and world for that matter. So do the right thing is what I'm asking you. Vote yes for this police oversight review, whatever you want to call it, board. Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. Council, that's the last of our speakers. Meeting adjourned.